Hope you're all doing pretty well today. My Friday has been pretty good. I'm ready for the weekend though, that's for sure. But let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so today we're mostly going to be working on the Twitch interactive card game that I've been doing this week, but I wanted to give a small update on the shader from yesterday because I managed to fix most of the bugs that I ran into. Here you can see our two objects, and we wanted to make a shader with like a sparkly effect, and I encountered two bugs. The first was that for some reason the sparkly effect seemed to happen more around the edge of the shader, or the edge of the mesh, instead of in the center. And it's just because I had made a miscalculation on the view direction. Let me make the sparkle intensity... Oh, that's way too much. Okay, so yeah, if I bring the scale up, now the sparkles are bigger, so it's a little easier to tell. And so what I had done was I was taking the dot product of the sparkle normal and the view direction and the negative view direction, when it should also actually be the positive view direction. I guess the guide that I was looking at, I guess, calculates the view direction differently than before, or than I was, or something. But now you can't really even see the sparkles. If I bring down the intensity to 1, you can see that they are more popular around the edge, which obviously wasn't the effect I was going for. So once you take the dot product, which is the positive view direction, it starts to become more ideal. Of course, it's a little crazy here until I bring the intensity back up, but... And then the other issue I was having was that it seemed like the sparkles only appeared in clusters, and that was because of the texture compression. So I used to have the compression on normal quality, and if I apply that, then we can start to see the effect. So let me change the scale back to 1, and then we can zoom in. And yeah, so all the sparkles are in little squares instead of just being able to be like 1 pixel. They're kind of like repeating shapes, and I'm not really... I guess it's just a byproduct of the compression. It actually kind of looks good in some ways, but I wanted to figure out why that was happening. I even wrote a script to create like a purely random texture, and this was still going on, so eventually I found out it's because of the compression. So if you just set it to none, then you get more evenly distributed sparkles. So obviously this starts to make a kind of big texture if you don't compress it, so you don't really need to do a 1000 by 1000 noise texture like I have here. So probably it would be fine to have a smaller one because you're not really going to notice repetition. Let's see. A couple other things I added, of course, is set this. I added better lighting, so now it supports both additional lights and a rim light around the edge, and also ambient light. So if I go into here and turn up the ambient lighting, it affects the models. And then finally on here I added a color for the sparkle so that it doesn't have to just be pure white. So if I wanted red sparkles for whatever reason, I think it tends to look best when it's similar to the actual color, but probably on a more fully featured shader, you'd want these sparkles to be the specular color of the material, but I haven't done specular highlights yet. That would probably be the next step if you wanted to upgrade this shader, but I think I'm probably done with it for now. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result. But anyway, I thought I'd just give a small update on this before we get into the meat and potatoes of the stream. Thanks again to, I think it was Boba Muffin that originally created the tutorial for this sparkle shader. Yeah, our Boba Cupcake. So Twitter user Boba Cupcake. So yeah, thank you again for inspiring me.